Yo, what's up, gamers? If you're like me and love getting lost in epic worlds with killer stories, then this one's for you. We're talking about those single-player games that hit you right in the feels, with plots so deep they'll stick with you long after you've put down the controller. From jaw-dropping twists to unforgettable characters, these are the top 15 single-player games that prove gaming is the ultimate way to experience a story. Let's dive in. When it comes to mind-bending storytelling and world-building, the Bioshock series is an absolute legend. This is not your typical shooter where you just blast through enemies without a second thought. Oh no, Bioshock is a wild ride through dystopias that mess with your head and make you question everything. Starting with the original Bioshock, you're dropped into the underwater city of Rapture, which is falling apart, both literally and philosophically. This game isn't just about taking down splicers, it's about surviving in a world where Ayn Rand's worst nightmares come true. And let's not forget the twist that'll leave you speechless. Yeah, that one. Would you kindly pay attention to every detail? Because trust me, this game is on a whole other level when it comes to storytelling. Then you've got Bioshock Infinite, which takes the crazy storytelling to new heights, literally, with Columbia, a floating city in the clouds that looks all perfect on the outside, but spoiler alert, it's not. It's got alternate realities, mind-bending plot twists, and a commentary on American exceptionalism that hits way too close to home. The way this series connects its stories is like a masterclass in narrative design. By the end, you'll be sitting there, controller in hand, questioning your life choices. If you're into deep, layered stories where every decision feels like it has meaning, the Bioshock series is a must-play. Plus, who doesn't want to yell for Rapture before taking down a big daddy? Alright, if you haven't played The Last of Us yet, you're seriously missing out. This game is like a roller coaster of emotions wrapped in brutal survival action. You play as Joel, a dude who's been through some serious stuff, tasked with escorting a girl, Ellie, across a post-apocalyptic wasteland crawling with infected nasties and shady survivors. The storytelling here is top tier, man. It's not just about the action, it's about the feels. You're gonna get hit in the gut with moments that make you question if you're cutting onions or something. Joel and Ellie's bond? It's one of the most well-written relationships in gaming. No cap. They evolve and you actually care about them. Combat's gritty and tense. You've got limited ammo, so every shot counts. Stealth becomes your best friend, and when things go sideways, you'll feel your heart racing as you scramble for survival. And the world building? Bro, it's on another level. From deserted cities overtaken by nature to those creepy underground tunnels filled with clickers. Yeah, those clickers will haunt your dreams. Honestly, The Last of Us isn't just a game, it's an experience. The kind of game that sticks with you long after the credits roll. If you're down for a wild, emotional ride that'll leave you thinking about life and what really matters, this one's for you. Just get ready to cry. A lot. Hellblade? Senua's Sacrifice isn't just a game, it's a straight-up mind-bending experience. You step into the shoes of Senua, a warrior who's not just battling physical enemies, but her own inner demons. And trust me, this game gets deep. We're talking about a psychological trip through Norse mythology, where the real boss fight is inside your head. The devs at Ninja Theory went all in on making you feel what Senua's feeling. Her struggles, her paranoia, the voices in her head. Yeah, you'll literally hear those. The sound design is wild, especially with headphones on, making it feel like you're right there, losing your sanity along with her. The combat, it's tight and brutal, but don't expect any button mashing. Every swing of the sword feels heavy, and timing is everything. But let's be real. The real star here is the story. It's dark, it's intense, and it'll mess with your brain in the best way possible. No spoilers, but by the end, you'll be questioning what's real and what's just in Senua's mind. If you're looking for something that'll grab you by the feels and doesn't let go, Hellblade is the game you can't miss. If you're into mind-blowing narratives that'll leave you questioning your existence, the Nier series is where it's at. These games don't just tug at your heartstrings. They rip them out and then make you replay the game to rip them out again. With a mix of post-apocalyptic vibes, deep philosophical themes, and combat that feels smoother than butter on a hot skillet, Nier is a ride you won't forget. Starting with Nier Replicant, you've got a story that's equal parts tragic and epic, making you care about characters that probably deserve better. Then there's Nier Automata, where you play as androids trying to save humanity. Spoiler, humans are already gone, but the game is way more than just hacking and slashing robots. Expect plot twists, existential crises, and a soundtrack so good it'll haunt your dreams. And let's be real, Anyone who says they understood everything after the first playthrough is lying. Nier is meant to be played multiple times. Oh, and don't even get me started on those endings. You'll think you've finished, but nah. There's always another layer of mind-melting story waiting for you. If you haven't heard of Shadow of the Colossus, you're seriously missing out on one of the sickest solo gaming experiences ever made. This game's not just about taking down big bosses, it's like a legit emotional roller coaster that hits you right in the feels. The setup is simple, but don't let that fool you, it's deep. You roll into this massive, empty world on your trusty horse, Aggro, and your mission? Take down 16 colossal titans. Sounds like a typical boss rush, right? Nah, this is next level stuff. Each fight is basically a puzzle. You've got to figure out how to even reach these towering beasts before you can bring them down. You'll be scaling their backs like you're in some next-gen platformer, holding on for dear life as they try to shake you off. But here's the kicker. As you slay these giants, you start feeling different. Like, sure, the gameplay's lit, but the story, bro, it creeps up on you. Each Colossus feels like it's more than just a boss fight. It's like you're doing something wrong, even though you're just following orders. The further you get, the more you start questioning everything. Why am I even here? Is this really the right thing to do? The plot isn't spoon-fed. It's all in the vibe, the atmosphere, and the crazy good minimalist storytelling. And let's talk visuals. This game is a straight-up art piece. The landscapes, gorgeous. The Colossi, absolute units, every one of them. You'll be standing there, jaw on the floor, just taking in how epic the whole thing looks. Even years after its release, Shadow of the Colossus still slaps harder than some of the newer titles. No spoilers here, but the ending, prepare to have your mind blown. It's one of those where you're just sitting there staring at the screen like, what just happened? Trust me, it's worth the grind, even if you're all about the fast-paced action. This game is the GOAT of storytelling. It's deep, it's emotional, and it'll stick with you long after you've finished it. So yeah, if you're down for a solo adventure that makes you think, makes you feel, and makes you want to talk about it for hours after, Shadow of the Colossus is your jam. Get ready to slay some titans and question your life choices, all in a day's work. Let's dive into Final Fantasy VII Remake, a masterclass in story and nostalgia. You got Cloud Strife, the dude with a sword bigger than your problems, caught in a battle between eco-terrorists and a shady corporation. The plot? Layers, man. Starts off simple but throws in twists, conspiracies, and ancient alien vibes that'll mess with your brain. The characters? Absolute squad goals. Cloud's too cool attitude, Barrett's speeches, and Sephiroth's chaotic energy keep things lit. Combat blends turn-based strategy with action, so landing a limit break feels like a headshot. And Midgar? It's never looked this good. Gritty and detailed. The soundtrack? Straight heat. Yeah, pacing gets slow at times, but the story makes it worth it. Whether you're an OG fan or new to the series, Final Fantasy VII Remake hits all the feels and leaves you wanting more. Trust me, it's an experience, not just a game. You wake up as a hungover detective with zero memory, stuck in a chaotic city. Your mission? Solve a murder while your inner voices argue and mess with your head. This game isn't about combat, it's all about choices and dialogue. Every conversation changes the story and your character's psyche. Want to be a hot mess or a smooth operator? You decide. The world is dark, gritty, and full of messed up characters. The story dives deep into politics, philosophy, and life's big questions. And yeah, you can literally die from grabbing a tie, so expect some epic fails. If you want a game that hits you in the feels, twists your brain, and throws in dark humor, Disco Elysium is your jam. It's a mind bender that makes every decision count. Yo, if you're into tragic, gut punch stories, Halo Reach is gonna hit you right in the feels, bro. It's like you're on a roller coaster, but instead of loops, you're just diving deeper into heartbreak. You play as Noble Team, and let me tell you, these Spartans are badasses with a capital B. The story throws you into this epic fight where you already know the end is gonna hurt, but the ride is so freaking good you just can't stop. The game mixes epic firefights with moments where you're straight up questioning if any of it matters when doom is pretty much written in the sky. But man, the camaraderie, the squad vibes, peak. The missions, legendary. And when things start going south, oh boy, you feel every bit of it. It's like Rogue One vibes, but with Spartans, heroes, sacrificing everything for that sliver of hope. And let's not sleep on the graphics and gameplay. Super slick for its time and still holds up today. Reach takes you on a wild ride you'll never forget, but don't be surprised if you need a moment to recover after that ending. The Portal series is an absolute gem when it comes to single-player games with mind-bending puzzles and an epic story. You play as Chell, trapped in the cold, sterile Aperture Science facility, armed with just a portal gun. But this isn't your average shooter. This is a brain workout where physics is your best weapon. The plot is deceptively simple at first: escape the facility. But what makes Portal so iconic is GLaDOS, the rogue AI with a twisted sense of humor, dishing out sarcastic comments while secretly plotting your demise. Her passive-aggressive comments? Pure gold. She's basically the ultimate troll. As the game progresses, the layers of the story start to peel back. You realize that this isn't just about solving puzzles. There's a whole dark and twisted backstory about Aperture Science, human experiments, and a cake that may or may not be a lie. Spoiler, it's a lie. Portal 2 cranks everything up to 11. Not only are the puzzles more complex, but the story dives even deeper into the lore of Aperture. Wheatley, a hilarious little AI with a terrible sense of direction, becomes your new companion, until he screws everything up, of course. The humor in Portal 2 is on point, and the way it mixes with the game's dark undertones is just chef's kiss. If you're into games that make you feel like a genius 1 second and a total noob the next, Portal is a must-play. Plus, the plot twists, they hit harder than a surprise boss fight. The Deus Ex series is an absolute beast when it comes to single-player games with mind-blowing storylines. Picture this: a cyberpunk dystopia where every choice you make has consequences. And I'm not talking about some basic good versus evil meter here. We're talking deep, layered storytelling that makes you question your morals, your loyalty, and whether you're even the good guy in the first place. You step into the shoes of cyber-augmented badasses, like JC Denton and Adam Jensen, navigating through a world of conspiracy, shady corporations, and governments gone rogue. And here's the kicker: it's not just a shoot-'em-up. Nah, this series is more about hacking, sneaking, and social engineering your way through situations. Sure, you can go full Rambo, but the real fun is in outsmarting the system. The world building is top tier. You're talking hidden lore everywhere, emails to read, conversations to overhear, and choices that'll have you staring at the screen, sweating over the right decision. Plus, the augmentations, those are straight fire. Want to punch through walls or cloak yourself like the Predator? Yeah, Deus Ex has got you covered. In a nutshell, if you're into games that make you feel like you're living inside a high-stakes sci-fi thriller where every step matters, the Deus Ex series is a must-play. Just be prepared for some serious "I never asked for this" vibes. Silent Hill 2 is a fresh remake of the iconic survival horror title that dropped back in 2001, and it's definitely the crown jewel of this legendary franchise. Published by Konami, the OG of the brand, the remake is crafted by the Polish devs at Bloober Team, who've leveled up their skills with titles like Observer, Blair Witch, The Medium, and the Layers of Fear series. The storyline unfolds in the eerie mining town of Silent Hill, nestled in the American state of Maine. Just like the classic, the town is a twisted mirror reflecting the mental baggage of its visitors, exposing the fears and insecurities they keep hidden. Players step into the shoes of James Sunderland, who, 3 years after losing his wife Mary, gets a chilling letter from her inviting him to a special place in Silent Hill. Once he arrives, James embarks on a harrowing journey where he'll have to confront his inner demons and encounter other lost souls who found themselves trapped in this nightmare. The game rolls out its action from a third-person perspective, guiding players through a variety of creepy locations. You get to explore 2 versions of the town: the Fog World, which is dark, deserted, and cloaked in mist, and the Other World, a bizarre dimension teetering on the edge of reality. As you navigate these unsettling spaces, you'll tackle missions that push the story forward and encounter other characters stuck in Silent Hill. Leading the pack is Maria, who, despite her resemblance to James's late wife, is her complete opposite. She's got a fear of monsters, which makes her want to stick close to James. How you handle her, whether you look out for her safety or let her fend for herself, will determine which of the many story endings you unlock. Plus, don't forget to crack some puzzles to access new areas and keep that narrative flowing. Firewatch is one of those hidden gems that pulls you in with its atmosphere and keeps you hooked with its narrative. You're Henry, a dude trying to escape life's problems by taking a job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness. Sounds chill, right? Nope. You end up unraveling a mystery that'll have you questioning everything, including your sanity. The game nails the vibe with its stunning visuals. Seriously, every frame looks like it could be your next desktop wallpaper. But the real star of the show is the dialogue between Henry and his boss, Delilah. Their banter is top tier, full of sarcasm, wit, and those moments that hit you right in the feels. And there's no combat, no crazy action sequences, just pure storytelling and exploration. You're basically there to soak in the plot and get emotionally invested. The way Firewatch builds tension without any monsters or jump scares is wild. It's just you, the forest, and this feeling like something's always off. Plus, the soundtrack sets the mood perfectly. It's subtle, but makes those quiet, lonely moments hit harder. If you're into games that focus on narrative over action, this one's a no-brainer. Firewatch is an emotional roller coaster wrapped in a beautiful open world that's equal parts peaceful and eerie. Just make sure you've got time to sit and think after the credits roll. You're gonna need it. All right, let's dive into Red Dead Redemption 2, an absolute beast of a game. Picture this: you're Arthur Morgan, an outlaw in the dying days of the Wild West. It's not just about shootouts and robbing trains, though you'll definitely be doing plenty of that. It's about the feels, man. This game hits deep with some of the most emotional storytelling you'll ever experience. The world of RDR2 is massive, alive, and detailed down to the horses. Well, let's just say they didn't skimp on the realism. You'll find yourself riding through breathtaking landscapes from snowy mountains to swampy bayous, and getting caught up in all kinds of random encounters. One minute, you're helping a stranger fix his wagon, and the next, you're in the middle of a heated gunfight with bounty hunters breathing down your neck. The story, though? Oh man, it's more than just robbing banks and staying ahead of the law. You're part of Dutch's gang, and as things spiral out of control, you get to see Arthur's internal struggle unfold. He's not just a bad guy. He's a bad guy trying to figure out if there's still some good left in him. And those moments where you think you've made a safe choice? Nah, this game's got a way of throwing those decisions back in your face. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll probably spend way too much time customizing your horse. But at the end of it all, when the credits roll, you'll be sitting there in silence just thinking, wow, what a ride. If you're looking for a game that'll suck you in faster than a black hole, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is where it's at. You step into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a grizzled monster slayer for hire with enough swagger to make you question your own coolness. The world is massive. Like, wow, I'm definitely getting lost in this map. Massive. And every nook and cranny has some crazy side quests that'll either break your heart or make you fist pump in victory. The story? Bro, it's next level. We're talking epic, emotional, and darker than a Soulsborne boss arena. You've got political drama, moral choices that slap harder than you think, and some of the best written characters in gaming. And yeah, the plot isn't just go here, kill that. It's full of twists that'll make your brain do backflips. Plus, there's Ciri, your adoptive daughter, and the whole point is to find her before this gnarly group called the Wild Hunt does. It's like a race, but with more blood and monsters. In short, The Witcher 3 isn't just a game, it's an experience. You don't just play it, you live it. Prepare to lose hours, days, possibly your social life. Worth it though. Assassin's Creed 2 is one of those classic single-player gems that hits you right in the feels. You step into the shoes of Ezio Auditore da Firenze, a smooth-talking parkour master who's out for revenge after some serious family drama. This game is not just about slicing and dicing Templars with hidden blades. It's a full-on journey from a cocky playboy to a legendary assassin. The story here is insanely deep. You get to dive into Renaissance Italy, rubbing shoulders with historical heavyweights like Leonardo da Vinci, who's basically your tech guy, while piecing together an ancient conspiracy. The vibe is pure. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and Ezio's character development is fire, from carefree to calculating, all while cracking jokes and throwing shade at enemies. The plot twists will keep you on your toes, and just when you think you've figured it all out, bam, something new smacks you in the face. And don't even get me started on the visuals. For a game from 2009, the cities of Florence and Venice still look breathtaking. It's one of those games where you find yourself climbing up towers just to stare at the view. If you're into stealthy takedowns, running across rooftops, and unraveling a conspiracy that spans centuries, Assassin's Creed 2 is a must-play. It's the perfect mix of brains and bronze with a story that'll suck you in and not let go. Plus, who doesn't love a good old-fashioned hidden blade kill, right?